Add to the stream. All right. Good morning, everyone. Today is December 14th, 2021. This is Angel with the market, your host for the Market Brew. And a lot going on, guys. A lot. I hope you guys caught the moves we set up yesterday. What a day. What a day. All right. So it's not over. Expect a lot more volatility because tomorrow is going to be a doozy, guys. It's going to be a day to remember. Yeah. Not to alarm you, but I want to make sure. Don't worry. I'm going to make sure that we capture the right movements. But a couple of things here. So let me dive in on the news here. So right off the bat, I'm just going to, let me see where I can put myself a little smaller so you guys can see the news. There we go. Awesome. So right off the bat, what I'm noticing, be careful if you own China stocks, guys. Okay. They're at a threat of being delisted. This story has been occurring for quite some time now. And, I am noticing some movement on and the one that I'm kind of noticing here is this stock called NEO. So just watch it. It's behaving like there's some selling pressure on it, and I'm going to dive into it. But, just be careful out there because if it gets delisted, and there's a few, CNBC came out with I don't watch CNBC, but sometimes you just have to watch it to find out what is occurring here. But they had something here on the China stocks delisting. Where was it? Elon sells 900. We knew that. I was going to cover that. And I'm going to cover some news on Tesla too. So, all right. It's somewhere in here. Can't find it anymore. It's always when you're looking for it, you can't find it. All right. So let's see here. All right. So we got China stocks that we got to be worried about. All right. The other news here is this next rally could be coming soon. All right. So they're talking about some rally coming soon ahead of the Fed meeting. Okay. So not really buying that one. Just got news that Pfizer's the pill that Pfizer says it's approved and ready to go. It's effective against 80%. We'll see if Pfizer moves on that news. This is the one, China ties. What else was in here? Supreme Court allows the mandates. Be careful with GameStop AMC, guys. We're trading below the 200-day moving average, and it still looks like it still has a lot of pressure. Okay, so we have that. What else do we add? So there was something about the Fed. So this is the news. This is all eyes tomorrow, guys. It's going to be at 2 o'clock to 2:30. I really don't know. Can he say anything positive to make the markets go up? So there is a possibility that we could crater, and I'm starting to notice that yesterday. Okay, markets are pretty high, but again, I'm not a crystal ball guy. So basically what I'm saying is that there's about maybe a 90% chance that we decline and about a small 10% chance that we maybe go up. But I don't really see this as a super robust market unless he comes out and says, hey, we're not going to do any rate hikes and we're going to continue quantitative easing or taper, which is quantitative easing 4.0 or 5.0, whatever. I don't know. So I don't know. And if he does that, we have high inflation. It came out of 6.7. Actually, it's way higher. Is that really the right move to continue tapering, or do we need to sell off? Like I said yesterday, my theory is I think we're probably due for a sell-off, right? And I think that would be good for the overall markets. Let's dive in. So let's dive into what we have. But as far as the news, this is what we have to cover. And I'm going to go into overall the markets here. So let's look at the XPX. We're going to go into XPX now and find out what's going down here, right? So, all right. So this is basically how we start here. And just to start your day, like I said yesterday, we need to find out what the temperature of the overall market is. And the analogy would be like you woke up, you brush your teeth, you're about to go to work, and you want to find out what type of clothes you should wear for the weather outside, right? So you want to check the weather forecast, and this is us checking the weather forecast of the overall markets. Now, this is the daily, the Nasdaq, and the Russell, okay? Again, the green line, the key areas that we watch here, the MACDs, and they're just standard MACDs, guys, standard. So if you just go to MACDs, just push that in, and we use that as a momentum indicator. That's it. And then we use the 50-day moving average, right? These other moving average, I don't really use it, but I just like it because it shows you how strong of a pop it is. Thinking about eliminating it, but you don't really need them. And the other one you do need is a 200-day moving average, especially during this time frame, because it's going to tell you what key levels to watch. Okay. By the way, when the 50 crosses the 200-day, they call that the death cross. Death meaning that everything's going down, and when it goes up, that is called the golden cross. Just write that in there. It means that things are getting better. Things are getting worse. Things are getting better. All right. So here's what I'm talking about. Here's the XPX. We're pretty far up. We need to raise interest rates. Interest rate has been low for quite some time. Okay, so now I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. What if he says raise interest rates real fast, real quick to battle inflation, which is a possibility, right? If he says that, we are going to crater, and I'm going to show you. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see. And we're gonna go auto. So this is us here. This is where we started off the year, right here at this level right here. I actually pointed 37.69 is where we started. Okay, we're pretty far up there. If I were to measure the movement, right, from where we're at, we went up quite a bit, guys. We're up 25%. For the year, right? The year's about to end in the next, 14 days or what, maybe a little bit more. So that's pretty good. Now, if he says raise interest rates, and I talked about this yesterday, and we start from today, we're going to crater, and I'm just going to show you a 20% crater. Okay, here's a 20%. So that's 18%, 10%. So 10% will put us right at that 40 from yesterday's highs, right? Will put us right at that 42, right under 42.50. Right? 20% from 47.20 will put us right at where we started for the year. Okay, are we going to go that low? Does he want to crater the economy? Don't know. So what if there's a 10% move? 10% move will put us right at that 42.50. Okay, we're just slightly below the 200-day moving average, and that is potentially a possibility. Now, if we go down this far, we are going to stall, right? We are going to stall at this 42.30, 43.30, because that's where the 200-day moving average is, and there's a lot of supply or a lot of demand at that level. So that is a possibility. Just get ready for it. I do have some plays. Of course, I'm ready. If you're ready, I'll be happy to share how to prepare ourselves for this event if it happens, and there is a strong possibility it could happen, but we are going to be ready. If you're ready, press that like, subscribe button, and get you excited for a beautiful, profitable day tomorrow that's coming up on the horizon. So that's what's cooking. Now, what's going to make us go higher? Now, we have that 47.20 and 44.744. So that's what I see on the XPX. So that's what we see. 200-day moving average, and this is a weak MACD momentum. This is weak. We bounced off the 50, but it was weak. Okay, it looks like it's about to turn, and then if we collapse zero, we dive. Break the 50, we dive. All right. There is a strong possibility, no taper, things are great, we're not going to raise interest rates, then we skyrocket. We skyrocket. How do we know we skyrocket? 47.43 rockets, the MACD start turning, and then they're going to start buying, and we're going to enjoy that ride. So the good thing is get your surfboard ready, because we're going to go surfing soon. All right. Nasdaq looking weaker and still has out. Let's see if it breaks that zero, it's going lower, and it's going to break the 50-day moving average, and that's going to be all techs going down. Russell is the overall market, and this is going down. Now, in theory, because these guys are bank heavy, if they raise interest rates, then more than likely they are going to, these should go up in theory, but we're not noticing. I'm not noticing that. And, I mean, it's not always the case, but this thing, if it breaks 2120, there is a long way to go here. I mean, we're looking till 1720, guys. So that is a possibility there, and and just get ready. And it looks like I have a second win here. So not ideal, but we had some nice trades yesterday. All right, so let's dive in. So now I'll give you the overall markets. I don't know if I scared you. Don't be scared, But I am noticing, guess what? The VIX. So now here's a play, and this is going to coincide with what I'm about to share with you, where I see the opportunities. So here's the deal, guys. Tune in. Come on. You got to pay attention. Get your pen and paper ready. Here's the VIX. I told you that we're going to have volatile session going into this week. So if you're an option trader, you probably don't want to sell options. Well, you can if you want to, right? They're going to... Right now, we're breaking the highs of yesterday. We're at the bottom range of last week. There's volatility entered the marketplace. Unknowns, a big question mark. People are going to be buying puts. The cost of options are going to go higher. So let me ask you, if you know that the cost of options is going to go higher, would you like to be a buyer of an option or of a seller of an option? I'm going to repeat that again. If the cost of an option, is going higher because the VIX is going higher, do you want to, and option is going to be more expensive, right? As we clearly can see, it's going to break the highs of yesterday, and it's starting to maybe go up for the week. And we'll know by Wednesday where we're at. We'll probably end up in the 24, 26 area. Do you want to be a buyer of an option or a seller of option? Think about that. I want to be a buyer of an option at this moment and enjoy these rides till Wednesday, because there's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of fear going into it. Nobody really knows what's going down. Like, nobody knows. You got Kramer, he doesn't know. I can tell you what, price action knows, and we're going to cover that right now. So that's the VIX is going higher, right? This is today's action. The market hasn't even open, and people are buying. There's fear entering into the market. Yesterday was really interesting. For the first half of the day, there was no fear. We sold off, and there was minimum fear. So that was a little bit like, okay. And then right at the end of the day, fear came in, and then that's when we had that sell-off. So we're noticing fear coming in. The Treasury notes is going lower. Now, this is where we're like, okay, if this is going lower, if they raise interest rate, this is probably going to go a little higher. But this is good for the overall markets. Tech likes this level, but do they really like it? I think things are about to change. All right. So yesterday I changed my format. I don't know if you noticed. If you did, press that like, subscribe. And again, I changed it for a couple of reasons. One, I realized that not all of you are day traders. That's okay. So I wanted to show you how to effectively look and give you the highest probability trade using not one, not two, but 3 time frames, and to give you the highest probability entries. And yesterday it worked out. It was beautiful. All right, so let's dive into it. And right off the bat, I'm still going to keep the standard 15-minute time frame, and I'm just going to use this as a glance, and I'm going to pick out and choose which ones I see that are going to be the potential for today. Now, XPX, pretty far away from the 50, and it looks like we're probably going to go lower, and I had something to show you here. So here's the E-minis, and we are going to work our way lower, right? So again, when we look, here's the E-minis. You're not going to get this on trading unless you pay for it, but if you go to your broker, I have Thinkorswim, which I use, you always go to the 4 a.m. hour, and 4 a.m. is 46.75. If we stay below that, we're going to have a bearish day. As clearly as you can see, we're probably going to go lower. We're probably going to head to that 46.17, possibly today, maybe lower. But as you can tell, we're bearish, and there's more fear. People are selling off into the close, right? And anything can happen before now and 45 minutes from now. Remember that. Okay, so we got that. So we're probably going to work lower, a lot lower, and we're probably going to open up way lower. We're going to gap down. We're definitely going to gap down. Okay, so at yesterday, we had a couple of plays. Yesterday, if you watched the video, I stated that this was a play to the about to the 50 if you want to take that trade. And then here at the end of the day, this is how we like to trade. Came up to the 50-day moving average, and we take our trades from the 50, right? Or back to the 50, either one. You have to remember this trading style, real simple rules. Everything always comes back to the 50. Just remember that, okay? Everything. And if you remember that, you will do well, okay? So we know don't take trades up there up and don't take trades there down, right? Even if you're like, oh, I can win, it just reduces your probability of getting it right. Okay, so we increase our probabilities at the 50. So this is going to open up lower. That's going to be great. If you notice, the Nasdaq, same type of thing, and went down, went down, went down, went down. But right off the bat, I just wanted to screen this. I got super excited. As you can tell, everything here, Amazon's away from the 50. Tesla might be good. I have a theory on Tesla. And Chipotle working its way lower. All right, so we're going to I have Tesla, I have Chipotle, Tesla and Chipotle. And ISRG. So we have those three right now. Tesla. And guys, we're doing this on the whim. Unedited. I'm showing you exactly the thought process, even though I looked at it. But things change like within an hour. Lam Research working its way lower. I like Lam Research. Maybe for after the Fed speak, we're going to look at that maybe for a stock trade. Shopify working its way lower. Netflix working its way lower. Roku. All right. Roku might be one. We set this up yesterday and is moving today. That's going to work out for us. Nvidia, again, working its way lower. Nvidia might be one too. All right. Mercado Libre. This thing was strong yesterday. Ironically, was super strong. This could rally. This could be the counter trend trade. Apple working its way lower. Trade Desk working its way lower. Whoa. Okay. So what else we got? Goldman Sachs. Again, in theory, if they raise interest rate, this will go up. In theory, how do we know? 391. We're going to dive into that. Broadcom working its way lower. Upstart, garbage, working its way lower. HubSpot holding. Zoom, lower. So Omicron. If Omicron was an issue, this would be up, guys, right? And I've heard numerous reviews, and that story has been coming up. They're shutting down. I saw Norwegian is closing down. Norway is closing down bars and no alcohol in restaurants or bars, limited capacity. So we're starting to see that news coming up, especially in the colder countries. ServiceNow working its way higher, so we'll watch this one, but I don't have the pre-market data yet. Okay, Coinbase working its way lower. All right, the chips. The beauties lower, ASML lower. So this is a play going to be probably setting up after Powell. AMD working its way lower. Lucid holding pretty strong. Rivian lower. Roblox lower. Okay, so let's dive in. So I'm going to give you guys here the secret sauce. So this is what I talked about yesterday, and here it is. So we're looking at 3 time frames. If you go to TradingView, you're going to go here and you're going to select three time frames, and you can put XPY, whatever you want to do. And ultimately, if you're a stock trader, you definitely want to look at what the temperature is at on the daily perspective. And then if you're and I'm going to eliminate here myself. I'm going to take myself out. If you're a stock trader, you're going to look at, where we're at. We're pretty far away from the 50, so I wouldn't feel very confident taking a long position here, okay? Reason being is because we're pretty far away from the 50. You want to take your trades at the 50, and the MACD is telling me weakness, and it's probably going to head down to this 457. We're looking at the spiders here, right? And again, so spiders, I should be looking at the XPX, because so you can trade either one, guys, so I'm looking at XPX. So again, working its way lower, we're probably going to head down to the 50-day moving average, which is sitting around 4580, 4600. That is a possibility, probably pre-Powell. Okay, just know that. On the hourlies, we're coming back to the 50, and the MACDs are showing me weakness. Let's see how it reacts at that 0. It's probably going to stall at that 4650. If we break that, then could be an entry to the downside on the hourlies, right? Because we broke the 50, and more than likely, like I said, we take trades from the 50. If it breaks 0, that could be an entry right there, and then you have a target. Just look for the MACDs to come higher. Now, as far as the XPX on the 15-minute time frame, you had our entry. So we have one trade here, and then we had another trade here. Now, this is going to open up lower. I forgot to add that. So wait, don't chase it. Wait, and let it come back to the 50, and then take the next trade up, right? So that's how we do that. So let me go into where we're at. Right there, we're gonna go to the Nasdaq. For some reason, the Russell doesn't come up. Nasdaq, we're probably gonna open up lower. See how it reacts to that 15.8, and this is gonna open up lower. So this was the trade to take yesterday. This is ideal. If you were trading the Nasdaq and you were watching this time frame, you saw this break at the close. You saw this bounce off the 50. You will feel very confident taking that trade because more than likely, rarely do you get 3 all in alignment. Or 2, but when you get 2, that's a very, very confident level that we are breaking on multiple time frames. That's how you look at it. Okay, Google working its way lower. As you can tell, we're going to open at 28.84. That puts us right there at that 50-day moving average. If Google breaks that on the dailies and breaks 0, then Google will go lower. Okay, we'll go lower on the daily. It's very difficult. These things do not quickly, unless it stalls at the 50, but we're going to watch Google if it breaks down. Remember, they're taking down the good things. If they take down the good things, then, you have to see, you have to be careful. They're taking down the good things. So it's like, okay, so, Google is a high flyer. They had amazing earnings, great guidance, and they're taking this stuff down. So, don't be surprised. They're taking down GME. They're taking down the garbage. They're taking out filet mignon. They're taking out the good stuff. And of course, they're going to take down the garbage. And especially during these times, things are going to go down. So as for a trade, there's nothing really on Google. We're too far away from the 50, far away from the 50 here. But this might be a possible trade. So let it come back, set up, and then watch it. Now, if all 3 line up, this could be a potential trade, maybe pre-Powell. But I'm looking for the things that line up. Amazon below the 50 just broke yesterday. So as you can tell, breaking this is going to go lower. Now, Amazon is at the 200-day moving average. There should be buyers there at 33.63. If this gets taken out, bye-bye. It goes. It's going lower. On the 15-minute time frame, we're too far away from maybe the 15-minute time frame is trying to, if it comes back up and kind of settles there, and breaks down, that might be a trade. Now let's go to Tesla because Tesla's here. So here's the thing, guys. High five if you caught that Tesla trade yesterday. We set this trade up beautifully, textbook, beautifully. Go to yesterday's morning brew. Fast forward to the Tesla version. If you want to know how we set up our trade, that was a beautiful, beautiful setup. High five to everyone. We took it. It was just, here's the thing. We saw Tesla yesterday at the 50-day moving average. At the 50, things need to bounce. If they don't bounce, they go lower. Real simple, right? It didn't bounce. MACDs are telling me that it should have bounced. We didn't get the bounce, and it worked its way lower. We broke the 50, and this is the trade that we took yesterday to the downside. How low? Well, real simple. We know by looking at this, we know that, 950, they've been buying Tesla. And sure enough, they did. They bought Tesla 950. And Elon sold shares yesterday. Obviously, that's why Tesla went down. But just know this, guys. Tesla was at 1243. It's sitting at 960. That's a 30% chop. At what moment are investors going to get pissed off at Elon? I mean, you understand, nobody really does what he did. Like, he doesn't just put on Twitter, I'm going to sell 25 billion shares, 25 billion worth of my shares. And at some moment, people will get pissed off. So are they going to get pissed off? Because Tesla right now is, we're below the 50. When it's below the 50, just be careful. The only thing saving it is that, it's if they might be starting selling shares. So if it breaks 950, just know that that's not Tesla, that's not Elon anymore. That's now investors getting pissed off. We're below the 0-day, and it could probably head lower. Okay, just know that. So if he doesn't come back in to buy those shares, then we're probably going to go lower. Now, so watch that 950 area, which I'm watching with a hawk right now. Tesla's going to open at 943. So let's see if it can recoup. We're pretty away from the 50. And on the 15-minute time frame, we're right there. Now, to see if this is real, it needs to regain 960, 970, 976 to get it better. Is that going to happen today? Are people going to buy ahead of the FMOC? You know, or are they going to lock in gains and end of year? If this thing drops, if we suspect a drop, they're going to sell everything. Okay. So again, we're going to watch both. Key level to watch. If it can regain 1,000, then we're going to be looking good on Tesla. But if it doesn't, they're going to take this one down. Okay. At the 15-minute time frame, there might be a trade there because we're right at the 15-minute time frame. If it takes out 940, we go lower. MACD starts turning, and that could be a trade because this looks like it wants to break. Okay. On Tesla. ISRG, I told you that one. ISRG is right at the 50-day, right at the 50-day. It's trying to rally here, but this is ideal. It can go either way. It can go either way, guys, right? We're on the hourlies, we're right there too, and very rarely do we see these trades. So again, this is a setup. If you see this break here on the hourlies, and it looks like it's about to break, and you see here that we start breaking lower, this could be a trade to the downside because it will take down ISRG. They will take it down. How low is it going to go? Probably 330, maybe 313, definitely 330, possibly. How do we know if they're going to take it up? I'm going to tell you right now. 346 is where they sold it off. Let's say 346. If it can break through that, they're going to take it higher. So I gave you both sides of that trade there, guys. Both sides. It is going to move today. It very rarely stays at the 50 very long, if you know that. All right. CMG. As you can tell, daily's working his way lower. Again, this is a dead cat bounce. It's still pretty strong here. Don't like this on the hourlies. Let it take it down. They're going to take it down. So they're going to take it down here pre-market. In order for us to know that this is real, it needs to get back above the 50, which is 1706 to be exact, right? And to really let it pop, it needs to take out 1745. So that could be a trade there. If it goes back to the 50, we're going to be looking at it. But right now, if it breaks down, it looks like it's going to open up lower. Apple. High flower had another upgrade today to 210, but Apple's been on a tear, guys. So again, let me ask you this. Knowing what I told you on the daily, do you want to be a buyer of Apple now this far away from the 50? Yeah, you got it. The answer is no. It could go higher, but again, you're taking a low probability trade. It needs to retrace. And I'm looking here on the hourlies. We have a dead cat bounce here. It looks like Apple can go lower. Now here's a trick. If Apple goes negative for today, then we're going to go down on the XPX. If Apple does not go positive, meaning if Apple cannot go above 177, 178, then we're probably going to go lower on the XPX. And we're going to see that for the first like 10, 15 minutes if Apple is going to go positive. If it doesn't, then we're going to go lower. Okay. So XPX on the 50-minute time frame, this is ideal to take a trade to the downside. On the hourly to the downside. Again, we're pretty hard up. It does need to pull back at a certain level, so all stocks will be affected. All right, so let me go. I'll cover, and I have a trade on BTC and my MicroStrategy as well. What are the stocks that I noticed that were good? So where are we now? All right, 9 o'clock. All right, so I'm a little bit backed up. What did we say? LRCX. I'm just going to fast forward here. Shop looks probably... no, Shop was yesterday. We set that up yesterday. Okay, so Shop was yesterday. Netflix. Did we like Netflix? Netflix. If it takes out that 594, we're going to head lower. The 200-day moving average is at 560. So on the daily part, those are the targets on the daily. But there's no ideal entry here for us to get into, right? But those are the plays there for Roku. On the 50-minute time frame, could probably work lower. How do we know if this is going to be bought? It needs to take out 222 or get back to 221. But right now, it looks like it wants to go lower. If it takes out 214, it heads down to 200. Okay, so that's a trade right there you can take. Nvidia. This is what I'm talking about. Nvidia, high flower, great chip demand. Omniverse, but they're selling this. So we're going to be watching the Nvidia at 272. Let's see if it can hold that bounce. But I'm going to see 272 if it holds. Now, know this. If Nvidia takes out 272, they're taking out everything. Okay, all the chips will probably go down with it, and watch it. So watch that. Melly was much stronger, right? Was basing, but is this on the dailies? It looks like it's ending. It's holding. To get it better, it needs above 1220. I put those levels up there. You had a nice trade yesterday to the upside if you want to take that, but it's gapping down. So this is probably not going to hold. That might be a trade to the downside on the 15-minute time frame. If it breaks here, breaks there, it can probably go down to 1125. So put that on your horizon. And the hourly is breaking there, breaking down. This is something to set up right here. Now, the options are going to be pretty illiquid, so buy some time. But this is going to be a mover probably to the downside. So watch that one. TTD. Working its way lower. I like this basing pattern on the dailies, but they're taking this one down. And again, pre-market, pretty far away. Goldman Sachs. Watch this one. If it can take out 386, I'm putting an alert. Then it's going to respond. This could go up if they raise interest rates. What else I like? Avgo. No, Broadcom Avgo. If it breaks that, they're going to take this one out. If Nvidia goes, this is probably going to go with it. Upstart, stay away from it. Below the 200-day moving average, think bearish. This thing could drop more, but let it come back to the 200-day moving average on the dailies. But this is garbage. It's going down. It's going down. All right. What else did I look at? Hubs. Hubs might be a possibility. Again, below the 50. It probably can go lower. Let's see if they take it down right at the hourlies. Hourlies could break. Zoom. Possibly here and here. Nah, don't like Zoom. BKNG. Service now. Below the 50, if this starts breaking down, this could be a possibility here to the downside. If it starts breaking down here, how do they buying it? If it gets above 661, this play's no good. But they could sell off here, break down. And if it breaks that 50-day moving average here, then it's probably going to go lower. So it's not set up on the 15-minute time frame. I don't have the pre-market info yet. That's interesting. Got it here. Don't have it there. Okay. Coinbase. Possibly here and here. All right. I'll tell you what. Do you guys have any stock you want me to share real quick before we go? Want me to look at? If not, I'm going to go into BTC, Bitcoin. And this is what I'm talking about, BTC. BTC is holding pretty strong. Okay, crypto space. It's holding pretty strong right here. Again, I stated yesterday that it needs about 52,000 to get it better. I like the basing pattern. It's holding that 200-day moving average and that VWAP. If it breaks the 200-day moving average, we could go lower, and the next level is going to be 42,400. But it's holding. We're near the end. If this starts crossing, we're probably going to head up and break that 52 and head up to the 50-day moving average. Now, this line right here is the VWAP that I put from the top here, and that's just telling me that we're under pressure from that high. Okay. Now, if we go lower, then this is going to break, and you could trade MicroStrategy to the downside if you need to trade. If we go higher, you can trade MicroStrategy to the upside if we start breaking up. So that's the play on MicroStrategy if we start going higher. And you want to trade something that's going to go up, then you want to watch this one. Ethereum, working its way lower. It's at that VWAP, which is around 35.47. It lost the battle of the 50. It looks like it can go lower. If it breaks that, it's going to go to the 200-day moving average. But again, wait and see. After Powell, I think Powell's going to move everything here. So Powell's going to move everything. All right. So let's see. So guys, do me a favor. That's all we got here. Good morning, Doc. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, be prepared. I do have a trade for you guys tomorrow. The trade that I'm looking at is going to be for the XPX again. But right now is not setting up what we want to do or the SPY. Let it come back. We're going to gap down, guys. We're going to break that 50-day moving on the hourlies. Let it come back up. When it comes back up, there'll be another opportunity. If you want to trade the SPY, then that could be, it's very, very liquid, and that could be a possibility. But we are going to open up lower, guys. As you can can tell, the SPI is trading already. And again, so the trade to take it, and I think you can trade these 24 hours. The trade to take here was today, but it's probably going to work lower. We broke the 50 on the hourlies, and on the 15-minute time frame, we broke down here. So again, there will be a little buying that's going to go back up to the 15-day moving average. When it sets up, then that could be something you can trade to the downside. Okay, so we're thinking bearish trades going into the FOMC meeting. Again, hold steady, FSR. All right. Hey, Moses, what's up, buddy? All right. Let's FSR. All right. Let's check that one. But FSR. All right. So FSR, real quick, guys. So real simple. We're at the 200. We're at the jeopardy of the 50-day moving average, which is around 1750. A lot. Again, we sold off pretty hard here. And the MACDs are breaking below zero. So this looks like it could break down. Next level down is going to be the 200-day moving average. That's going to be the saving grace, 1627. So now it's moving down pre-market. So again, you know, if we're looking at it from the hourly time frame, it's breaking down, guys. It's been breaking down for quite some time. So you want to be taking trades to the downside here. Or if you own the stock, you probably want to hedge yourself with some puts, you know, because, but right now it looks on the 15-minute time frame, we could work lower. Just watch it. Again, everything with Powell is on the line. So they are going to, you know, there's an unknown out there. There's a big question mark, and the market does not like unknowns. Oh, I didn't show you that. Sorry. Let me go back. Still navigating these things. So FSR right here. I forgot I wasn't showing. But FSR is at the 50-day moving average at 1750 on the daily. So it still can break lower. It looks like it's at jeopardy of breaking that zero. If it breaks zero, we are going to break. We're going to go down to that 200-day moving average at 1630. If we look at the hourlies or the 15, the hourlies, we've been selling off. And this is why it's good to look at multiple time frames. But right now, as you can tell, clearly, if you know they're going to start buying, it needs to come back to the 50 of 1774. Area to watch if they really are buying it is 1848. That's where we know if they're buying it. But right now they're selling it. All right. On the 50-minute time frame, those are the same levels that stick still, but it looks like it can go lower. Watch the 50. It probably can go back to the 15 time frame, 15-minute. In the 15-minute time frame, it could probably go back to the 50 and watch for 1732. I don't know if it's gonna go against. Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know if that's gonna go. You know, but just watch it, guys. Be careful heading into the Fed tomorrow because things can change. All right, so I got Dollar Tree. Winby asked for Dollar Tree. But let me do that. Okay, so we have Dollar Tree coming up. All right, and this is going to be the last one, guys, because 9:09 we got to prepare for the markets, and so Dollar Tree. All right, so Dollar Tree, again, on the daily is pretty high up. Now, let me ask you, as far as a stock trader, I'm not going to want to go long on this thing because I want to get long on the 50-day moving average, right? And we're showing weakness. So, but if you got into this thing is robust, is looking fabulous. There is some selling pressure at 149 on the daily. So what I mean by that, there is supply up there. It's looking good, though. So Dollar Tree, unfortunately, is looking pretty strong. On the hourlies, it actually rallied yesterday. So that's a good thing. 138, that was a trade that you could have taken, but the MACDs were a little weaker. That's telling me this probably not going to go and probably stay in this range. All right. So, again, MACDs are weak here. More likely, it's probably going to pull back to that 140 area. Now, on the 50-minute time frame, we had a rally here with the fresh of the MACDs back to the 50-day moving average, right? But we're coming to the end. Now, what could this mean on the 15-minute time frame? It can come back down. We're going to see how it reacts there. If it can break, it's going to break right now. It's going to break, bounce off the 50 and maybe bounce higher. That could be maybe a play, but it has a lot of headwinds at that 142. So again, they've sold it at 142. They got spooked there. Are they going to take it down? Now, you're going to be watching it at 141. Now, this is for a day trade. If you're in it for a long-term trade, then, that's a whole different net. But for a day trade, if it can take out 142, 141, if we're looking at 142, then it could probably go a little higher. How high can it go? it can probably go to possibly 145. And again, the high that again, there's a lot of supply at that 149 area. Okay, so watch that. But again, if this thing breaks down, starts breaking down zero, it's probably going to come back to the 50. Watch it at that 139, because if this starts to break down, break zero, break that, then we're going to head lower, okay? Because again, on the dailies, we're working our way lower. And again, we're pretty far away from the 50. Again, you're at 140, the 50 days 117. Yes, it's going to go up. But again, tomorrow, be careful, because if they're going to start selling, they're going to sell a lot of things here. All right, guys, that's all we have. And hope that was helpful. Do me a favor. Oh my God, what a day! What a day! It's gonna be an amazing day today. We'll see, and we'll see what's cooking. So, all right, guys, do me a favor. God bless. Stay green. Let's catch some waves together. I'm gonna be doing the follow-up show on TradingView. So if you want to have access to that, make sure to go there. It's right here. If you go to my YouTube channel, which you are there, you're gonna go to the top here, and let me see. We're going to go here, and you can link on that link. I go on there at 12 o'clock. All right, guys, make sure to press like and subscribe, and God bless. Take care and stay green, guys. All right, take care. Bye-bye.